I examined the figures to see how they had changed from the previous year. You will be surprised by what this data reveals. Diana's community post about the silent supply squeeze, which hasn't been discussed yet but is now, will also be examined. Let's get started. Additionally, we are aware that David Schwarz has predicted that there might be a significant supply shock for XRP in the future. This implies that the price of XRP will fluctuate significantly as demand for the asset increases and supply decreases as more people desire it. As usual, let's try to gain a better picture of what's happening. I'll provide you with all the background information. You can click the like button if you like what you see, or tell me in the comments whether you believe a major supply shock is imminent. Janet, let's listen to this man's thoughts. Diana, the subtle supply squeeze on XRP is still being discussed. Many thanks, Judge. Now let's discuss it. In addition to halting Ripple's progress, Torres might have made the right decision in the long run. A deeper look at the line below demonstrates that demand is increasing while supply is decreasing. I believe that this is taking place everywhere. Numerous businesses are creating their own XRP savings schemes. The safety service Ripple is also used by a few very large banks. In the upcoming years, we'll see how that affects things here. Using the XRP technology to tokenize financial assets and making more DeFi apps compatible with the XRP system is what we're discussing. More XRP will be required for all of those things to function. What just happened? She asks. We discussed Judge Taw's remarks, or perhaps we don't need to repeat them. According to her, Ripple cannot sell XRP directly to businesses unless those. In a moment, I will demonstrate why that is somewhat true. Let's examine this individual's words in more detail for the time being. According to this individual, businesses who wish to hold significant quantities of XRP are now required to purchase via exchanges or over-the-counter vendors rather than directly from Ripple. Discounts will no longer be offered. Instead, consumers will now base their purchases on the state of the market. How about having faith in Ripple? Nevertheless, through a mechanism, Ripple is still able to send out 1 billion XRP each month and sell it gradually on other exchanges. There won't be any large dumps as a result. Yes, the supply remains constant when selling via a transparent drip feed, but it is more open and fluctuates less. It is ISO 20022 as well. It's crucial to remember that in July 2025, Fedwire and Swift will completely accept ISO 20022. Since Ripple is already ISO compliant, it improves when banks make updates. Using Ripple is simple. Keep in mind that many of these payment market mechanisms are not inherently linked to cryptocurrency. Businesses that create blockchain infrastructure, such as Ripple Circle, are necessary to link Web3 to Web2's infrastructure. Additionally, it is evident that they are making improvements to all of these payment messages in order to provide us with speedy delivery and quick communications. It claims that Ripple won't be able to sell XRP directly to consumers if financial institutions like banks and payment lanes actually use it for liquidity. They will instead move to the free market, where the actual supply squeeze may occur. After ISO rails are phased out in July 2025, there will be slow uptake and legal risks, and the timescale is short. XRPs have a lot to gain, and the legislation might become more clear in the future. Investigate why Ripple is unable to sell directly due to a shortage of supplies. Big buyers can only obtain ISO lines in the open market once they become active. The tools are preparing for when the utilities start to arrive, but demand is not guaranteed. Let's discuss a variety of topics, including Ripple corridors, ISO connections, ODO volume, the appeals process, and much more. According to Darker, institutions can purchase from Ripple as long as they are upfront about it while in the US. According to the court, the majority of ODO's clients were transferred to a different subsidiary company located in a foreign nation. Deals in the United States are the only ones being closely examined. You want to know if it's real, so of course I looked into all of this. Now let's examine the facts. Ripple will not be able to sell XRP to banks directly if they do not adhere to all the guidelines established by the recent verdict of U.S. securities law judge Annalisa Torres. There are still unreported sales to institutions. Therefore, Ripple cannot sell XRP to institutions unless it either complies with U.S. securities law standards, which they may not be able to achieve, or registers those sales as securities offerings, which they will not do. I hope the background information might assist you grasp what's happening, but we'll see in due time. When Dark Horse claims that certain U.S. banks who wish to join can do it outside of the U.S. and perhaps find a means to shift that XRP over, he might be speaking the truth. I just ran Supply Squeeze through Perplexity to check if we missed anything, and it will be interesting to see how everything comes together. A supply squeeze in cryptocurrencies occurs when a significant amount of a token's available supply is traded. If there is a large demand for XRP, this shortage of supply may result in a significant increase in pricing. There are several forces coming together to trigger this catastrophe. We won't delve into that here because we talk a lot about trust and the laws. The exchange has seen massive withdrawals recently. From the agreement, large sites like Bitstamp and Binance have seen significant XRP losses. I even prepared a video on it, and we will discuss it. It appears that you want to be aware that XRP's price is rapidly declining on several significant sites. I will now show you that information. Binance's XRP balance fell from 2 to 0 in this instance. From 93 billion to 2 billion there was a significant surge, and almost $700 million was extracted. It might be this. We were receiving a lot of hits at the start of the year, as you may recall. Many individuals wanted to know what was happening with XRP. Fewer and fewer individuals are interested in what's happening as the months and years pass. Once XRP surpasses $3 in a year, I'm confident they'll pay attention once more. Multiple exchanges dropping at the same moment is extremely uncommon. This indicates that large holders or investors are contributing funds all at once. Please remember that 100 million XRP is equivalent to $200 to $250 million if you purchase it via an exchange. A few $100 million, that is. Not everyone has a lot of cash on hand because there are only 100 million XRP tokens. This also applies if you are a bank or other organization that offers cryptocurrency custody or solutions with the intention of selling the cryptocurrency at a later time for possibly greater values. We'll see how things work out. Other businesses include Trident Digital. There have been rumors that other businesses may not even have that much money when they claim to be investing hundreds of millions of dollars in XRP. This should not be taken too seriously. 9 to 10 businesses have raised roughly $1 billion so far. It appeared that they intended to use the funds for XRP vaults or other services associated with XRP storage or utilization. For making